Hello, it has been a while since I've gone live, a while since I've been online, in fact. So it's a little bit late in the day, in the month, shall we say, but Happy New Year. I hope you have all had a phenomenal start to the year. Yes, good to be back online. And so I really just wanted to come in and say hi, show my face for the first time this year, say hi to you guys. Thank you once again for continuing to follow and engage with us. And I really just wanted to share three thoughts with you, three thoughts that I'm kicking off the year with. Um, if you are joining live, let me know where you're joining in from. Let me know how the start of the year has been. Let me know how you are, whether you're joining from Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Chime in and say hi. Of course, also let me know if you can hear me okay and you're receiving me okay on your end. And so, I'm in between meetings, and this year I decided that I'm only really going to show up online, show up live when, I feel that I have something pressing to say. And I'm in between meetings, and a couple of thoughts came to me of things that, I thought you might find useful to hear. And they're just really three thoughts that were kind of on my mind about, how I'm personally going to approach the year ahead, and just some thoughts that I had in mind to kick off the year. And the first one is one that always comes back to me, and it's less but better. I'm a really strong proponent of doing less but better. Just focusing on quality over quantity is something that I often have to remind myself of, because we've all got so many things on. There's so many things pulling for our attention. It's so easy to get caught up in multiple opportunities, shiny object syndrome. But I'm constantly reminding myself, to focus narrow and really hone in on what is it that you really want to achieve every week, every month, and every day, and focus on the stuff that matters to you and moves the needle in your life and business. So my first thought I wanted to share with you, probably heard me say it before, is less but better. This year, I really want to focus on doing less. I'm actually narrowing my niche this year. Last year, I narrowed into just two kind of core target groups and offerings. This year, I'm narrowing even more, but more of that as we go through the year. But less but better. And I can't even take credit for those thoughts, because, as you know, probably from behind me, I'm an avid reader, love books, love to read. And there's two books that I absolutely love. One of them I'm actually re-listening to for about the third time. And the first one is Essentialism by Greg Mcewen. And it's really about, and this is where that tagline comes from, less but better. And sometimes when we say things like, we want to do less but better, you think that automatically results in achieving less, but it doesn't, because often when you focus on less, you actually end up achieving more, whether that be revenue, whether that be various things that you want to achieve, because you're relentlessly focused on one thing. And so the book that I adore, this book, Essentialism by Greg Mcewen, The Disciplined Pursuit of Less, And one of those books that kind of really stuck with me, one of those books that are worth having on multiple mediums, hardback on the shelf, audiobook. In fact, I need to buy the hardback. Actually, I've only got the audio, which I've listened to multiple times. So that's the first book. The other one that I'm listening to again is The Power of the One Thing. And this book is by Gary Keller. And one of the things that he says is that when you look at people that have achieved great things, more often than not, they are focused relentlessly on one thing and then the next. And, in the intro, he gives this example that in his meetings, he started by telling his team, when he was trying to, increase the performance of his company, he started by telling his team to, just focus on 3 things and just focus on 2 things. And then he realized that, actually, let me just tell them to focus on one thing at a time. And he said performance and productivity went through the roof. And I think, I always just want to reiterate, multitasking, having 1,000,001 goals, for some it may work, but for most of us mere mortals, the better way is just to focus on less, but just do it better. So that's my kind of initial thought. The second thing is the importance of working from a place of rest and not stress. And I think mental health is something that is not just for Mental Health Month, or it's not just something that should be on the radar when we feel really overwhelmed, when we really feel stressed. It's something that should be on the radar all the time. And I feel like there's an art to working from a place of rest as opposed to stress, because stress is the default for most of us. You know, most of us have so much going on in life, will continue to have much going on. And so that's our default. So much so that many of us work from a place of stress automatically, but don't actually necessarily realize that we're stressed because it's so normal. And I really feel like we need to change that. Like, it doesn't matter what's on your plate. I think it's so important to work from that place of rest and to condition ourselves to work from a place of rest. And so what do I mean by that? I mean, it's simple things. If you realize that, you're feeling tension, or you're feeling stressed, or you're feeling anxious, not to sit in that, because some of us often sit in that and it's like, well, we have these things to do. I can't stop. I've got a meeting. I've got priorities. I can't stop. And it's training ourselves to actually stop, even if it's for a minute, even if it's for a half an hour, but to condition ourselves to really work from that place of rest and not stress. Because when we work from that place of rest, when we work from that place of not being overwhelmed, we achieve more, our clients get more out of us, but we actually have to train ourselves to do that. So yes, it's practical things like getting enough sleep, but more than that, I feel like it's a mindset to condition ourselves that actually, I don't have to work this way. I don't have to work in this way. And, one of the reasons I've been away for so long is because I literally just switched off for a whole month, and I spent the month in Jamaica with my family, on a beach, in the sea, living our best life and just resting. I blocked out pretty much the whole world for a few weeks and came back, and I've come back refreshed and refueled. And I know that's not something that we can do all the time. And I know that's a one-off thing, but the mindset behind it stands. Even when we're here and we're working and we're pushing to goals, we have to condition ourselves, or we would do well to condition ourselves to work from that place of rest and not stress. And then the third thing I wanted to share with you is this notion of measuring against the right metrics. Now, a lot of you will know my background is marketing. I'm a strategist. And so key performance indicators is part and parcel of what I do. It's part of every project that I work on. But what I find increasingly is that sometimes we're measuring against the wrong measures. And so this year, I really think that it's important that you're measuring yourself against the right metrics. What does success look like for you this year? Not what does it look like for your neighbor, for your colleague, for your competitor. What does success look like for you this year? And I'm going to use the example of launches because, of course, I am the launch strategist. And if I use that as an example, most people measure the success of a launch based on revenue or number of people in the door. Yes, that is an important metric, but it depends on the goal of your project. Now, here at the Launch Strategist, our goal is to help people launch legacy. That's significant projects that are going to stand the test of time, that are about the future, that are about generational wealth, that are about cumulative profit, cumulative wealth over time. So these projects can continue to deliver more and more over time. Now, the way you measure a launch like that is very different to how you measure a launch of, say, a course, and you immediately want to get people in the gate immediately, or a short-term project that has a limited lifespan. It's a very different way of measurement. And so, for example, when I'm working on a launch, I'm measuring against the 6 Ps. And so I really just want you to, for those of you that may be launching something this year, as a concrete example, I want you to consider this. Instead of measuring that launch just against revenue, I want you to consider measuring the success of that launch against the 6 Ps. Now, the first one is purpose, because in my mind, if you launch something and it's completely not what you had in mind or what you intended or isn't in line with your long-term vision, I don't care how much money that launch makes. It is not successful because it is not aligned to purpose. It's not aligned to your purpose. For the first measure is, did this meet your ultimate goal, vision, purpose? Is this project on purpose? If it's not, it's a failure. If it is, that's check one against the success measurement. Number two, was the product, did you prove viability? Is the product viable? Did people use it? Did they take it up? Yeah, did you make money from it? Did people sell? Did people sign up? Did the product actually work? Did you actually deliver on your promise? So that is the second thing. Did the product work? Do you have clients? And did it deliver what you said it would? Do you have a viable product? Does it, is there a need for it in the market, and have you proven that? Number three is people. So, people are the principal thing. So even in terms of your team, has your team come out of this stronger? Has your team come out of it better? Has it helped the community? Has it helped your client groups? Is it successful in terms of the people that are involved, both the team and the customer? If you asked a customer of this thing that you launched, if it was a success, if it worked, if they liked it, would it be positive? Because again, it doesn't matter how profitable something is. If your customer service is shoddy, if your clients aren't happy, if you have a lot of, cancellations and things like that, it was not a success. Number three is promotion. Do you have a marketing engine? Does it work? Did it help you get leads in the door? So was it successful against that metric? Number five, do you have clear processes? Can you deliver this service again and again and again without tearing your hair out? Did your processes work? Do they need refining? And finally, profit. And so not revenue, but profit, because it doesn't matter. You could have £1 million launch, but actually you spent £1 million in advertising and whatever. So we're not just looking at revenue. What was your profit? Did you make a profit, and was it profitable? And the point is, a lot of times we look at success in terms of promotion or money or whatever. And yes, those things are important, but I think it's increasingly important as we go into another year that you are very clear on what success looks like for you and what are the measures of success you want to use to assess your success as an individual and your success as a business. So, a few thoughts there for you, but just wanted to hop online and share kind of what was on my mind. And so those three things again, at number one, I'm an active proponent of less but better. Double down on what it is that you want to achieve this year and focus relentlessly. Doesn't have to be a million things, but the one thing. And again, I love those books. The One Thing by Greg Keller. No, Gary Keller, and Essentialism by Greg Mcewen. The second thing I wanted to share with you is work from a place of rest and not stress as far as possible. And then the third and final thing is measure yourself and your business success and your career success against the right metrics, the metrics that matter to you. So that's it from me this afternoon. Just wanted to share those thoughts with you. I don't know when I'm coming live again, but when I have something else pressing to share with you, I will indeed do that. So this year I will be showing up more on my business channels as the brand as opposed to me. So if you're not following me on my LinkedIn page, please go ahead and do that. That's just the launch strategist. That's where you'll find most content from me this year. And also YouTube. I continue to be a fan of YouTube. And so I'll continue to post videos there. And finally, I'm saying it loud, so I'm accountable, but I'm writing my second book this year on the 6 Ps. And so I'm getting back into the habit of writing long form content. So I'll be doing a lot of blog posts, a lot of long form blog posts this year. Not so much kind of short form content this year, but I'm writing more this year. So that's kind of it. As ever, if you're launching anything significant this year and you need a hand with it, please do not hesitate to reach out, direct message me, contact one of our business pages, or visit our website at thelaunchstrategist.com. Or better still, you can even email us at hello@thelaunchstrategist.com, and we will be sure to get back to you. But have an amazing rest of the week, and no doubt we will speak soon. Bye-bye.